So if you've never seen my videos before, welcome. My name is Ashton Seneca. I'm a marching fundamentals specialist, leadership clinician, and mindset empowerment coach. All right. So if you are have seen my things before, I would hope that you say hello because we're friends. I love when these turn into discussions. Imagine if we were just kind of hanging out, chilling with our masks on. Feel free to ask questions, or if you would like for me to repeat something, whatever it is. So I ended up doing, and feel free to say hello to, it's not showing me comments right now, I wonder. So say hello as you're hopping on. It's not really showing me comments, so hopefully I see them in a second. So I ended up doing a socially distanced band camp. We're in person. Hi, Angela. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Tracy. Feel free to say hi. Let me know how you guys are doing. But I ended up doing a socially distanced band camp where, we had everybody 10, 50. We had everybody honestly, I would say 15 feet apart when we were outside. They were split into two different groups. We never went inside. They had to walk, they had masks on the time. They had to walk in single file like kindergartners, lots of whatever. So we did a socially distanced band camp. And there's a lot of things that, when I teach fundamentals and things, I'm like, well, I sure can't do that no more because I can't get in the children's personal space. Okay? So, hi, Kathleen. Oh, hi, Angela. I've missed you guys too. I know I haven't been, I had band camp for a week and a half, and then I had to recoup after that, so I haven't been on here in a while. I also got my hair cut. Got it cut real short, so that's new. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so there's a couple things when I'm talking about posture that normally I would be maybe a little bit closer to the students or things like that. For example, if the students are leaned back, I might come over and I might do this really quick or motion that to them and it will adjust them. Or if they're lean too far forward, I can kind of adjust them, right? Well, you can't do that because we can't get in their personal space. So while I'm teaching this, and this idea just came to my head because I was curious. So a lot of times when I'm teaching posture and things like that at first, this actually came about, this idea came up when I was teaching them rotations. So we were just doing rotations without our instrument to work on our slides to build up our muscle strength to do that. And when they go to do it, they end up either leaning forward, they end up pushing their bellies out like this. So if I'm doing the rotations that I have them do, they end up sticking their bellies out, right? Okay. Well, I can't get in their personal space, right? So this kind of dawned on me. I was like, everybody put your hands by your ears. Now pretend like you're doing a sit-up. And they all went, whoop. And I was like, yes, that's what you feel like. So for the kids that are like this or leaned back like this, have them put their hands by their ears and do a sit-up, and it pulls everything into alignment. It was one of those things it popped up in my head, because that's one of the crazy things too. When I'm doing marching fundamentals and stuff, I will have the craziest, nuttiest things pop up in my head, and I'm like, let's see. And that was one of the ones. So when they were doing, because I do chicken wings so when I have them do practice rotations and build up the muscle strength on their slides, we do it here. And so they're all curved like this, or they were leaning back, or they were sticking their hiney out. So say hands by your ears. Now do a sit-up. Oh, okay. Now some of them might overdo it, and you can be like, okay, that's a little bit too much. A little bit, yep. Okay, cool, there we go. So some of them might overdo it, but that's a really good one for the social distance. And you can even be like, I didn't have to be anywhere close to any of the kids to use that example because most of them have done a sit-up before. So that's one thing is if they're pushing out of alignment, if you're maybe used to okay, pull that back, have them do a sit-up. Okay, now here's the thing. If they're really far forward and they do this sit-up, notice that I'm still this right here. Honestly, this is going to require sit-up and then push the hips forward because they're way too far forward, right? This one back here, do a sit-up, right? So that sit-up motion is really helpful with social distancing. And then the other one too is, this is one that is that I saw a lot of is when the students push their heads forward like this. Sometimes I might be okay, I might put my hand here and be okay, don't let your head push forward, but we can't get in their personal space, you know what I'm saying? So if we're outside, what we can do when they're outside is have them purposely push it too far forward, purposely pull a double chin back, and then go halfway between and let it rest on top. So that's what I did for the students that were pushing their heads too far or back, I couldn't be in their personal space. So we just purposely went too far forward, too far back, and then right in the middle. Now, I did still have one student that was like this a lot. So what I said is I was pull your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades, more and more and more. Cool. Now pull the chin back, pull the chin back, pull the chin back. And then they finally got close enough to it. I will say there is always going to be maybe 2 or 3 students, maybe 5 students that don't get it and figure it out. That's okay. Those might be the students that are there the social butterflies, there to have fun. And then another one is the broken wrist thing. Because what I would do is put a drumstick here, and they're like, oh yeah, cool, all right, got it. Well, can't do that because number one, you can't sit there and walk around and touch a drumstick to all the kids. Or maybe you can. If your school is fine with that, then have at it. But number one, I'm not getting that close to them. And number two, I'm not going to like touch something to them, each one of them. Like I can see some kids' parent being like, don't touch that to my kid and then to someone else, and also get out of their personal space. So one of the things that you can have them do is like, so if I'm trying to teach it and I'm noticing that we're having an issue of the broken wrist while they're holding their instruments, you can have them, for example, have them do it on their own. So they might stack their hands like this, and the motion comes from this part here. So what you can have them do is stack their hands like this, and then purposely push it away and then pull it up. Push it away and pull it up. Okay, and then switch and do the same thing here. Now, if they have a watch on, that's probably not going to be as easy and helpful, but it'll get them to understand what this motion is. So then I'm going to have them pretend like they have their instruments and push it away and pull it up and push it away and pull it up until I get that straight line. So that's a socially distanced way that we can help out with our brass friends on the broken wrist thing. And then here's the other thing. Elbows being uneven, right? So we know that our brass friends, their elbows tend to be uneven because this hand is higher than this hand. So we end up with uneven elbows. The fastest way to do that is to run up to them and move their elbows. Don't touch the babies, right? So instead, I will literally stand in front of them and I will do this, point like this. I won't touch them. I'll be like, adjust the elbows like this, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yes, that probably feels weird. That's it right there. And I'm far away from them. So that's my little helpful hints there is if they're curving like this a lot, think of doing a sit up. That way we don't have to do any adjustments, okay? And then the other one that I said was for the broken wrist, have them do it like this and practice like doing that flex there. You can even have them do it against a wall. Like if this were a wall, I might practice doing that with a wall, but keep their fingertips against the wall, right? Because we want them to feel that motion. So keep the fingertips against the wall. And then, what was the other one? I said another one. I don't remember. I said another one now, so feel free to drop it below. So I can't remember the third one. I said 3 tips in here, so feel free to go back and watch it again. But those are the things, like just some really quick tip things that I kind of have made adjustments for on posture things in regards to social distancing. But yeah, those are quick tips on that. Also, like, just be creative with it and see, like, that's the biggest thing is like when I'm watching them and there's something that I can't, with the head. Oh yeah, pushing the head too far and too far forward and too far back. Doing it on purpose so that they can find it in between. So when I'm watching the kids with the social distancing stuff, like basically what I've been doing is making sure when I sit down with my lesson plan, I think ahead. I do this way ahead of time because I'm like, okay, how do I normally teach this? Like the first step that I normally do for backwards marching, I had to totally adjust that. And here's the thing. We get really nervous sometimes as educators because we're in there and we feel like we have to know exactly how to explain it. I told the kids, I said on the day that we were learning backwards marching, I was like, okay, I normally teach this where you guys pair up and touch each other, but we can't do that today. You're going to be my guinea pigs, and we're going to try a couple different ways to see which way makes the most sense. And they're like, okay. So we tried 2 or 3 different ways of explaining it, and I found the one that worked best for them, and they were totally fine with it. We don't know that in rehearsal when we're trying to figure out socially distanced ways to explain things, or like anytime when we're in this whole social distancing thing, the kids might have to be guinea pigs sometimes, and that's fine. It's fine that they have to be guinea pigs. Don't worry about it. Just know that like the kids get it too. The kids are having to figure this thing out too. They're going to give us grace for figuring our things out, okay? So that's my 2 cents on that. Also, what I'm doing too is later this week, I am revamping some things in my Basics in a Box, my online marching fundamentals course for socially distanced things. So number 1, it has been formatted for you guys to be able to share with your students, use for virtual learning. And number 2, I'm also revamping some of them so that you can use them in socially distanced rehearsals. Okay? So if this is something you need, if it would alleviate some of the stress in your life to have marching fundamental videos already done to share with the students, then just message me for more information. I'm happy to send you a sample video so you can see what the videos look like. The investment is $555. We can do a payment plan, or your school or boosters can pay for it. Anything like that, just message me and we'll get it figured out. Because my goal is to make your life easier. Because literally, I already have videos of every single thing that I do in regard, even teaching drill and teaching dance basics, okay? And you can use it for virtual learning, which is fun, and it hopefully makes your life easier. So message me if that's something that you are interested in, and I'll give you all the information to answer your questions or just get you signed up with it. And you get lifetime access to it too. It's not like a time, like, okay, you only have it in marching season. You also have lifetime access, okay? What else was I going to say? Oh, if you have any other questions that you're like, what about this in regards to social distancing, feel free to drop that below. Oh, wait, social distancing in regards to teaching marching fundamentals. Feel free to drop that below. If you have any questions on how I ran rehearsal in regards to social distancing, things like that, drop them below, and I'll be happy to make some other videos covering the questions and topics that you guys drop below. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I appreciate you. You're awesome. You're amazing. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Bye, friends.